Lower back.
Lower back deadlifts.
Deadlift? How many sets? Yeah.
Top set, back off set. At the moment, I've only been doing one set.
I'm going to die. I'm here to
He's
die.
looking at it,
And we're
so he
both
knows.
here to die. Because we're not bitches.
So I used to go down there. It was like winter time as well, and like it would be freezing, and I just have these gloves on.
Did you love training with him?
I didn't train with him. I trained completely by myself.
So you moved him aside and then you dumped him.
I was like,
Is that what happened?
pretty much. I tried to deload, and I went into the gym and I did my lower weights, lower reps, everything like that. Took volume out completely. But the next week, I actually then went even worse with myself, and my mental health actually got really, really bad. So yeah.
Well, welcome everyone to season 2, episode 5. All the way from England, she's a strength and transformation coach, a world champion powerlifter. She seems to want to help transform people themselves with confidence and get strong as fuck. Or is that what ASF stands for?
Yeah.
Along the way. She powerlifts more than me, squats more than me, leg presses more than me, benches more than me, and prettier than me. Please welcome Izzy.
Hello.
How are you? You
I'm
good?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good.
How's your morning been?
Yeah, all right. Very nice and relaxed. Had a coffee.
Coffee with Ace.
No,
We'll get
yeah.
Ace's name in. Ace is in the house, everyone.
Ace had to be in it.
Ace is personal trainer now too, by the way. But yeah, so you went and had a coffee.
Yeah.
What's your coffee?
Right now is caramel latte with almond milk.
That's not a coffee, is it, Chris? No. What the hell's
Oh.
that? Have a sip of your coffee. Have a sip of mine. I've got my long black.
No, mine's like it's sweet.
That's a milkshake, mate. That's not a coffee. All right, let's get started here. Let's start with why powerlifting? Why so much weight? Why this niche area of fitness? And also, why is this exploding in the gyms more and more? Women jumping on it. And why such a feminine woman doing it? So, what is it? Tell me firstly, why powerlifting?
You know what? When I first kind of went into the gym, I was just doing these like random workouts. Well, I actually started in my ex's garage. I was like locked down, and it was kind of like, you know, when you just have like dumbbells everywhere, like random dumbbells, and I was doing these random workouts a couple times a week, getting in, and I had no idea like what my strength was or anything like that until I got into a gym and I met different people along the way, and then it kind of went into one of those things of people started to notice my strength, and especially when I came into doing things like deadlifts. And I saw on like Instagram what deadlifts were, and I was like, I'm going to try it. Obviously, my form was whack, but it was one of those things that my strength from like a very early time in just starting the gym.
When did you start?
Oh gosh, so straight out of lockdown would have been 2020, 2021.
So you've only really just started.
2 years. 2 years it's been.
2 years. Wow, keep going. God, look at your post. You seem like you've been going forever.
Yeah.
Should we have got her here, Chris?
Like
I don't know if she does. You know what she's doing? I think she does. But go on. Yeah. So you get in there, yeah. So, yep.
So yeah, people just started noticing my strength. And then I think it got to last year in December or January. And I ended up getting a coach for powerlifting. People kept like pinging the idea across. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm going to go. I messaged the coach and we got straight onto it. Booked a competition in, and we were like, oh, we're going to do this. For after the first competition...
Were you nervous?
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, like that first competition, I had no idea what I was doing. Like I look back on it and it was like, wow. Like, but the people that I met there took on to becoming like a big part of my life down the line anyway. So that's a different story. But yeah, it was crazy. So after that competition, I loved it, and I loved the kind of like adrenaline that you got from it and just being on the platform. And it's a very singular sport, but also very kind of like you're surrounded by good people as well in the industry. So yeah, it just kind of skyrocketed from there. And each time I was training, like
Did you know you were that strong? Did you know?
Not until
Like, was there any indications growing up that you, like, did you go, were you picking up mum's washing machine
Yeah.
and moving it for her? And like, everyone's going like, she's quite strong.
No, I done gymnastics from a very early age. So I was in competitive gymnastics from about 8 to 12, and then
I got a question on that, but good.
yeah, cheerleading from 12
I saw that
onwards.
too. All right.
Yeah,
right,
I actually only stopped that September last year, so not that long ago. But I was a base, so obviously you're underneath, you're lifting people up, and I think that's where obviously the strength from my shoulders came from and stuff like that. So it was more of the sense of past experiences, I think, rather than just.
Okay, so tell me, why are we seeing more and more women doing it? And don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound sexist, like, but, and it's great, but I'm seeing a lot more guys too. Before it was a certain breed or a certain look. Most guys look like a Viking.
Yeah.
Now there's
Anyone
any look,
can be a
anyone can do it. But yeah, but
powerlifter.
what is it about the women getting involved? What do you think?
I don't know. I honestly want to say it's kind of just making them feel better about themselves in a good way, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
I think a lot of people, they don't even necessarily do it for strength these days. I think it's more of a sense of accomplishment that they're doing it for. But as you said, anyone can go into this now. And there's so many categories in powerlifting, and in any federation. You've obviously got all the weight classes and obviously your gender classes. But if you see in the female weight classes, you've got from under 40 kilos to over 100s. So it really varies. And people I've seen lifters under 40 kilos, they're obviously deadlifting like 80 to 100 kilos. And to some people, that's not heavy at all. But you've got to really look at like their weight ratio. Because so I honestly see that and I go like,
they're stronger then.
Yeah, and I think it's just the kind of aspect around having strength as a female is almost, I don't know the word for it. It's almost not overlooked, but.
So maybe we don't look at women so strong.
Yeah, but it's a rare thing to have it's very rare because we obviously can't put on muscle as fast and we can't get strong as fast as guys and stuff.
Maybe that's just a myth. Maybe in 5 to 10 years' time, this will just be something that people thought in the past.
Yeah, and I don't think females trained that regularly in the past, but now with social media, so many more people are doing it.
I think the gyms are now, I think all women have always wanted to take over the world, and I think they're close to getting there. Where did you grow up? What did you study, or what? When you grew up, because you're still kind of growing up.
Yeah.
What did you do school-wise? What did you want to be, and why Australia?
Oh.
So grow up. They're kind of a bit of a small journey too.
Yeah. So I grew up.
Sisters, brothers, what? Family of 5?
Well, family of 4.
4.
My mum, my dad, and my brother, older brother, and grew up in a place called Surrey, southwest London kind of area, and always stayed there. I've been there like my whole life. So, haven't moved, haven't ever traveled. I've travelled, but I haven't ever moved country. And so I studied. I was in school. When I left school, went into college, I did sports science. Classic. That was when I started to kind of love the fitness like a little bit more, but I didn't know too much about it. And I thought it was just a nice kind of topic to study, learn more about coaching and stuff like that. Where I was coaching gymnastics, it helped. And I actually dropped out after the first year. I dropped out. I actually wanted to be a personal trainer, and I was adamant I was going to be a personal trainer. And the way that I saw it, my parents obviously didn't agree with it at the time, but the way that I saw it was that I would finish my 2 years at college and I would get a qualification for it. But that qualification you can't use in jobs for personal training because you still have to get your personal trainer qualification.
Wow.
So the way that I saw it was I obviously paid for the course and I did the course myself. Took me, I think, 5 months. And I just kind of bashed it out every single day, every single week. I was like, I'm going to do a little bit more towards it. Went to drive to like North London to do my exams. And as soon as I passed, I went and I got a job personal training. Like, it was just one of those things that if I waited, it would have delayed me 100%.
Yeah.
So I thought if I dropped out, took that qualification, passed, and then got to there, then yeah, and then I'd obviously just continued that, and yeah, that was it. So for me, it was never a case of going into university. Obviously, my parents always wanted me to. My brother did. He's actually just finished.
What did he do?
Computer science,
How
around
old
the
is your
kind
brother?
of IT. So he's 22.
Okay.
He's moving out in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks now.
From home?
Yeah, he stayed over while we all moved over.
Okay.
So it was us three that moved over, and then he stayed, but to obviously finish. But Australia was a thing of my parents. It's been my mum's dream years on end, and so she's a midwife. As a context, she wanted a better job. She saw a better lifestyle out here, and it was never about
So you came in with your mum?
Mum and dad.
Mum and dad? Yeah, sorry, we didn't mention dad.
No, yeah,
no.
no.
How come nobody cares about dad? Poor dad. And he just came along too for the ride,
he was here. No, he
Yeah.
actually loved it more than like we did to start with. He was loving life, and
So they're here now? They're still here?
Yeah. Then we're all. It actually made us closer as a family.
Wow.
We went through some really rough patches like back in the UK, and it was very rocky. So for us to kind of come out here, we actually got so much closer.
Do you guys wish you actually came 250 years ago?
Yeah, probably.
With the first lot?
With
the first lot?
Yeah. I think it's so common, people moving.
It's made the Pomps closer. Now they've taken over. So
Yeah.
of course they're closer.
Yeah, so many people moving over to Australia. But obviously for me, I don't know
The
if I'm
Aussies
going
like to go to
stay.
England for some reason.
Yeah. Everyone's going to Europe at the moment. Every
yeah.
Australian's going to Europe.
They are.
But obviously, I don't know if I'm going to stay here. But for me to take the risk to venture out and experience what else is out there, then that's what's important to me. And I think obviously if I stayed in the UK and like, I don't think I'd have the opportunities and the experiences that I've been able to have. But also I'm only 5 months in, so I can't really say too much on it and say if I like it or I don't like it. And obviously I'm still so attached to the UK. So
So what do you mean by 5 months in? What does 5 months in mean?
So obviously we moved 5 months ago.
To Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, you seem like you've been here for so long.
That's the thing, and I feel like I did
Chris,
adapt
make sure
quite
we audit
quickly.
the people we bring into this place. She's going to take over. She's like every other POM. We need to do an audit.
No,
We're not very good at audits.
I definitely, it does. It was a very rocky 3 month start. Don't get me wrong. It was eventful, and that was a crazy time.
Well, let's. I'm going to go back a moment, and you spoke about the first time you did a workout.
Yeah.
In a garage of your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
So, relationships, like, was he into training? Is that where you resonate? Was he into training, or you've like?
I don't really from the top of my head. So he used to play rugby.
Okay.
But he never properly went to the gym, trained, anything like that. For me, I think it was a case of just seeing things on Instagram. It was a social media driven thing. And that's where obviously the workouts that I was doing were based off of. I was doing random sumo squats that weren't sumo squats that with a dumbbell, and it was all over the place. But that's where it kind of drove from, I think. But also because I really wanted something for myself that I could do during that time. So I used to go down there. It was winter time as well, and it would be freezing, and I just have these gloves on.
Did you love training with him?
I didn't train with him. I trained completely by myself.
So you moved him aside, and then you dumped him.
I was like,
is that what happened?
Pretty much.
Yeah, right. I've got the weights. I've got everything. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Right,
no, it was ended.
It's like typical most English women. But No.
Typical relationships.
Typical relationships. Oh,
Get into the gym, sack them off.
Oh, yep. Let's answer that question, and that question is that you're always asked. How do you stay so motivated?
Oh gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you Izzy stay so motivated? Everyone asks you that question.
Everyone does ask me that question.
How long have they been asking that question for?
Like ages.
5 months? 3 months?
You
No,
know
go
what?
on.
A long time.
Long time,
Since
alright.
I've, over the last year, so many people come up to me and they'll be like, what is it that keeps you motivated? Like, how do you actually do it? How can you actually get yourself to the gym every single day?
Tell us.
And I think it's a case of the passion that I have for it and the obsession, because it is an obsession at the end of the day. But it's also all of that, like...
Are you like that in your personal life?
What obsession?
That too. No.
Yeah.
Motivated.
Yes, but only because of the gym. I think the gym kind of like branched off everything towards like my life outside of the gym. So career and obviously just, everything surrounding that. And so for me, it's more about discipline and the routine that you have to have. But you just get used to it. You get used to waking up early and...
What time do you get up?
Kind of, recently it's been like 6, 7 a.m. every single day, which isn't nice. I think last week I did a good like few 4 a.m. starts.
You feel like a nutcase, don't you? But
awful.
then you feel like a worse nutcase when you get up at 9.
Yeah.
You can't not,
It's,
you're not
there's
happy
no
with either.
balance. Yeah.
There's no balance, is there?
It's so hard to wake up. Like,
Are you a sleeping person or a
Yeah,
I'm
I love
not,
sleeping.
I'm not
Yeah.
a sleeping person.
Love
Are you a sleeping
sleeping.
person, Chris?
Yeah.
I can't. No, I just.
But then I
wonder why.
You'll never
I want
catch
to
me.
do it. What?
You'll never catch me staying in past like 9, 10 a.m. at the moment. I used to be like that. When I was younger, I used to always like sleep in, and there was like times I would
When
be
you were
into
younger,
like,
eh?
yeah.
God, when she was younger.
It's-
You're so old at
Just-
19.
So I was like,
It's a long, actually, it's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
5 months ago, really. Everything's 5 months ago. She only started living about 5 months ago.
That's
Before that, she was just.
I don't know who
She
I
was
was.
just a thought. She was
yeah.
just a thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so they ask, and you think the gym keeps you motivated? Our purpose.
Yes.
Give us
But
one word. Give us the what is it?
I'd say mental health, 100%. For me, that's what drives me the most.
Has mental health been an issue at all ever growing up with you?
Yeah, huge.
To what? Tell
Like,
us the huge bit.
yes. So when I was really I say really young. Like when I was younger, I suffered like badly with it, and there was kind of like a point. Obviously, I'm being vulnerable here, but there was a point where I felt completely stuck. I didn't really see kind of a future for myself.
So sad.
No, yeah, it's rough. But like obviously, I remember very, very clearly because of the person I am today. But I do think it's always been more of the mental side than kind of physical or strength or anything like that.
What was, because it's just hand in hand, man. We're all,
Yeah.
I think, I just think we are a little bit, we try to excel, which sometimes makes us implode in life. And sometimes we're also the type that maybe we're humble, but we don't know how to settle.
Yeah.
And also sometimes we're not given or shown the right way or advice, and we have to learn it along the way. So what age do you think where it kind of was that moment you said it was tough? What age, why? What do you think it was? What
I think
it?
between like 13 to 16 or 13 to 17 was my age where I was just kind of like, it was even in like school, I was like sleeping through all my lessons, and like you don't realize it at the time, but you look back on it and you're like, I was drained, I was exhausted.
Why?
I don't know, because for me,
because you seemed like you had a good mum and dad.
Yeah,
Your
like, that's the
surroundings seemed
thing.
okay. But
So
what is it that gets us? Were you, because my daughter, because I never, I guess I did suffer at school, but I think when I was explaining to you about the gyms back in the 90s and 80s, we were just told to fucking get on with it.
Yeah.
Like it was, just get on with it.
Yeah.
Now it's like, sit down and talk to me, which I think maybe we need it, but my daughter couldn't handle bullying, but it wasn't just about being bullied. She couldn't handle watching it, and it just broke her.
Yeah.
It broke like a fucking spirit, and I could see why. She's amazing. She's actually a year older than, she's actually as old as you. How are you turning 19 this year or 20?
No, 20.
When?
20 September.
She's
Oh,
August the 4th.
Oh,
Her
nice.
name's Ruby.
Oh,
I feel like I'm talking to my
So-
daughter.
so-
So hi to Ruby.
There you
You
go.
want to say hi, Ruby? Hi, Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Maybe Ruby will follow us one day and subscribe. But then she doesn't.
She doesn't follow.
Your family comes last
Yeah.
when it comes to supporting you. So so go on between 13, 17.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't have a solid factor that really drove the depression or drove that kind of bad mental health. And that's why obviously some people, I didn't feel like I could talk to a lot of people about it, because it's like, oh, what's actually going on? And you're like, oh, I don't actually know. Like nothing's really pinpointing it. But it just kind of just kept going downhill until obviously I got myself.
How did you get yourself out of it?
It was just training. It was just building onto training, and I was going to the gym, and that kind of
training
kept me going. And it was just, but then also the things you learn around training. So not just being in the gym and lifting weights. It was then it took into what you were eating and like stuff that you were putting into your body and things like that. And then obviously friendships out of it, and you create like this solid like group of friends, and obviously you kind of get rid of the ones that aren't gonna kind of do you good.
Wow, like I don't understand you guys. You guys are so way advanced. I mean, Ruby used to come up with things at 8 years old, and I said, I thought the same way too, but I was 18.
Yeah.
So it's something about you guys and growing up. I'm obviously older, but you're talking about friendships, cutting, culling, finding, doing this food, that. I mean, I don't know. We knew nothing.
Yeah.
But it's great that you've come out of it the other side, and I think your answer is to be active, to find something that not necessarily you're part of the community, but you're in the community. And I guess training, gym work, we're going to talk about your gymnastics, and you said something about cheerleading, but I suppose that helped you eventually get out of it and move on.
That was to me more of a distraction though.
But that's a good thing too sometimes.
Yeah, to an extent. It just didn't help what needed to be helped. I think it was just, as I said, just the distraction on the side kind of kept things off for a little bit, but nothing in regards to how training's really been. But I don't even think like it needs to be training. Like I'm not going to sit here and say like you need to be training to be better. No. It's just more of a purpose that gets you going every single day. You just need to find that.
There is something, yeah. Look, I mean, I said we're going to do at the end your best tip on mental health. We're going to do that at the end. But yeah, I think, like I said, I appreciate you sharing that. Tell me something. Why do all the English people sound and seemingly talk like they're intelligent? Don't you reckon, Chris? When the Poms talk, like they might be dumb as fuck, who knows? But when they talk, they sound very intelligent.
I don't see that. I don't
we
really
do
know.
like that. And I don't really talk like
that's honestly
we're like slurring.
The last 5 months, that's all I've had.
Did you
just bullying.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know where the English language came from? Do you know where it came from, Chris? No. Do you know where it came from? Ace, do you know where it came from? Intoxication. What? You're laughing. It's true. Now, what happened was, what I think, and Google it, everybody, and you know what? And don't come back with any hate mail. But a speech professor or someone, I think it was a female. Maybe that's why it's wrong. No, oh my God, no.
Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Female's going to start.
No. I think she was female. She said that why intoxication was when men worked, they finished work, they went to the pub, I know, and they came home drunk and they slurred. But this happened through generations, because we've got to talk about 250 years here. So
that's crazy.
It was, I know it's crazy to say that, but you mimic what you hear. And alcohol was, I believe, and if someone knows more than me, I'm wrong, big deal, I'm wrong. But it's true, it's intoxication. So
it's crazy.
The slurring, because
we don't say our T's.
Sorry?
We don't say our T's. That's it. And that's what everyone picks up on.
Yeah. So what I mean is that, but that's true fact, but
lazy kind of talk.
I'm just letting you know, I don't know everything. Just quickly, just letting you know. Tell me something. I seen you do bench press, and I seen a lot of people do power bench presses.
Oh gosh.
What is it with the arching of the back? Like, that doesn't look safe. Well, I mean, I get it, but I thought you had to have yourself laying flat. And I get you're going to the excess, but what's the arching back bit?
So for me, it's preference to an individual. Like, it's not a pure technique way of like benching or anything. It's simply down to the individual of the person.
But it seems to me
a lot
like
of powerlifters do it.
Yeah, I know, but it seems like a little bit of a cheat move.
It is. It is 100%. I will sit here and literally
like
say that it is a cheat move.
Yeah, because in the 90s we didn't do that.
No, 100%. And I don't know if you'll see that I put my toes on the floor as well. And obviously you're meant to have flat feet. Yeah. It's obviously not a solidified rule, but like ideally is flat feet, flat back kind of thing.
Yes, ideally.
But yeah, so for me, I can sit here and say like, look, like the way that I do it isn't the best way to do it. So obviously, yeah. But the way that I do it with the arch allows me to kind of extract my shoulder blades on the bench. Mm-hmm. So I've always got to think of like, you always got to think of pulling your shoulder blades together when you're benching. And as you bring the like bar down to your chest, that movement there is where you're kind of bringing your shoulder blades together. So if your back was completely flat, you don't have as much kind of room to be able to do that. But as you said, it's obviously less range of motion. I've seen some powerlifters though whose arches are
ridiculous.
Yeah, stupid. Like they're literally like a bridge. And I think if you have that advantage to yourself and your body, cool, great, you're gonna do well in competitions because they allow it. That's the thing.
Well, I'm not saying I've never cheated in my life.
No, yeah.
I was a good cheat at school. I can tell you a story about actually.
Gosh.
I was a stupid cheat.
Oh God.
Let me tell you, because I actually.
Did you get caught?
Well, this was the thing. I wrote the answers at home.
Oh.
But I folded the paper in my pocket. So when I gave it to them, it had that 8 folds. And they go, what the fuck? We just gave you something like this. But I had it folded like this and like that. So when I gave it to them, they said, what's that? So I got in trouble. I got busted for that.
That was not the best way.
Well, I think I shouldn't have folded them.
They're so strict on it now, though.
Oh, I'll tell you another funny one quickly about how I cheated.
Yeah.
I copied someone's essay.
Yeah.
And I copied it word for word, and I thought, I'm going to write my own conclusion. And the conclusion is what made them realise that I'm dumb as fuck. Because I'm not articulate. So I was like, whatever. So it all sounded good until the conclusion.
Until the end.
And the end was like,
yeah.
What are you talking about? So I got busted for that.
I had people on the inside giving me the exams.
Oh,
no way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
God, you don't look like that type of person, Chris.
It had my ways. It's like that.
I mean, you do look like a hitman. There's no doubt. You look like a hitman. Even in our videos, you look like you're ready. You look like a debt collector.
Do you know what? There's like so much with the chat AIs and stuff like that now. Like people with chat AIs, what's it called? You know what I mean? No. AIs. So it's like there's some sort of technology. I don't know too much about it. Yeah. So it's basically like you can ask it anything and it will write it out for you. It will write books for you.
I know.
And obviously it's done people's essays and stuff like that. People using it to.
So what does that leave us in the future, to be able to do nothing?
A dumbass generation.
Dumbass generation, my God.
It's gonna go downhill.
Oh my God! It is. We've been going downhill for a long time, by the way.
Yeah.
Explain again the motivation for leg day. All right, in your post you said your words. Oh yeah. You're talking to someone. Actually, we're talking to Ace in that one. You said this.
Probably.
No, someone said leg day today. Any words? And you said, I'm going to die. I'm here to die.
He's looking at it,
and we're both here to die. Because we're not bitches. Let me repeat it. Your words were on a leg workout with Ace.
We're not bitches.
Yeah, your words were, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I'm here to die. And we're both here to die. Because we're not bitches. It sounds like something from Braveheart.
Well,
just quickly, is that motivation taken by Aristotle?
No.
Because it sounds like it's a quote from
It does
Aristotle.
sound like it,
No, go
doesn't
on.
it?
Yeah,
Like,
explain it.
I think obviously comes hand in hand because it's part of the enjoyment towards it, but it's also knowing that we're kind of going in there at like.
I'm laughing at myself. I'm a funny guy.
It's it's the kind of stress-free factor of it, but also
But
knowing
die?
that
Isn't that a bit
I
much?
mean no. The way that we train, well, I think obviously I brought it on from a lot of the people that I met back in the UK, but the way that obviously I've learned to train is obviously taking everything to failure and just pushing past all those limits. And when we're talking about like going to like death, it's just like putting everything on the table when you're doing those like any exercises, especially on legs. Legs is
day, babe.
yeah, I
It's
know,
leg day.
but
Are you really
this-
going to war with it? You are going to war
Yeah,
with it. No, I like it.
yes.
That's the way to train.
no, and 100% like everyone kind of just has this cliche way of
Do you
training
like leg
legs.
days? I love leg days, to be honest. It's
Yeah,
one of
they're not my favorite days,
Not?
but
That's my favorite.
they're not my favorite days, but they're
Quads
one
is-
day that honestly really like tests you. I think it's
Mate,
such
scary,
a
isn't
mental
it? It's
test.
the scariest.
Yeah.
Legs are scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Like
Legs are scary day.
what you're doing.
But bitches?
Under,
Don't you think
but-
that's a bit much? Or not bitches?
No, because some people are
Ace, was that a
bitches.
bit much? Did that scare you, Ace?
Yeah.
It scared Ace, mate.
No, but you know what? Some people just train like bitches. It's really like really harsh to say, but when you, I'm
that
not
true,
gonna sit
Chris?
here and judge everyone training, but it's some people do just train like bitches and they don't take themselves past that point, and then they wonder why they're not gonna grow or they're not progressing, they're not getting stronger, and it's you have to train like that, like you want to die.
But you, isn't it funny? You asked me before when we were talking before the podcast. You said I told you what the '90s was like
Yeah.
and what now is like. And you said which period did I like the most? And I said, well, this period's good because I can just turn up and just do something. But in the
Yeah.
'90s, it was like die.
It's die or nothing.
That was everything.
Yeah.
It was failure to failure. You went to the gym, get ready for failure. Get ready failure. I mean,
Yeah.
wiping yourself out. Get ready for failure and get ready to spot people. Our hour and a half workouts wasn't our own workout. We were spotting people. Sometimes we'd finish, and your mate would come in. You go, "I'll hang around to spot for you, man."
Yeah.
So it was okay.
Like,
So
yeah.
I guess
It's just I don't
we're
know.
not bitches.
Yeah, it's just the style of training that we've kind of endeavored into ourselves, and it's just the way that we train. Obviously, it's not subject to everyone. Not everyone trains like us, but again, it comes from who you surround yourself with. If you're gonna surround yourself with people who barely train or lazy and kind of just there for the sake of it, then obviously it's not going to benefit you. But if you're surrounding yourself with people who are training like with absolutely 100% every single time, then it's going to progress you as well, and it's kind of a cycle for everyone. So it's good.
You might not know that we have a Muscle Talks song. You
Oh, yeah.
do. But I think our next song, Chris, could be "We're Not Bitches."
Title
I
it
think
that.
something we can go with that. But we mean to pay royalties to you. All right. The nickname Acey. Is it Ace or Acey?
Ace.
Ace. Is it you Ace or her
Ace.
Acey? Well,
Acey.
is it? Well, it just said something. I was looking at your post. Maybe I'm wrong. It
I
says
don't think it is.
there's no. Okay, wait. Where does that come from? I don't know. Well, anyway, you train people, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was writing here. Why do people look like they've just been to a war after a workout with you? It's like they've looked at they're kind of like, thanks for the workout. It was great. It's really good. What is it about people looking like they've come out of a war zone with you?
That's how you train.
That
They're
is
just not
they're
bitches.
They're just not
They're
bitches.
just-
All right.
No, it's just
Maybe you,
it's
AC.
just-
She was talking about you, huh? Maybe that. That's right. But
Well, you've actually adapted a good style of training, though.
have you?
like-
Is yours the same?
It's very similar, yeah.
I didn't think you used
Come and
to
poke
be.
your face in for a minute.
Yeah,
just
come
come
on.
over here. Come over here. Just for a moment. Just for a moment. Just quickly. Yeah. So just for a moment. We're not going to keep you too long because you're quite a handsome fella. So, have you taken on the same principle? Have you?
Yes.
What's that principle?
Train to failure, basically.
Train to failure. Yeah. How long have you been personal training for now?
1 day.
1 day. Do you want to plug yourself quickly because you're not going to have another chance?
Mango Bang Fitness right here, guys.
What is it?
Mango Bang Fitness.
Mango Bank.
Mango Bang Fitness.
Mangro. Whatever.
Whatever he says.
Whatever he says.
You
yeah,
say it
fitness-
so fast. Australians speak so fast.
Do we?
Yeah.
He's-
Well, he does.
He does he?
Yeah.
And so you're to failure. Is it hard to train with Izzy? Is Izzy take you to another level?
Definitely.
And does that help you take, is that what the principles you got from Izzy, you've taken it into your little niche of offering that kind of style of training too?
100%. We bring each other up.
Yeah, you've definitely taken it on, I think, since we started training. Like, I can't remember when we started training together. We don't actually train together. Hold on, let me rephrase that. We don't actually train together because we kind of just do our own thing.
Yep.
We're very stubborn on we've got our own exercises that we need to do. But it's more of like the spots for each other. So it's obviously, as you were saying, like when you're spotting each other. So if I were to spot him, obviously I'd make sure that he was literally like dying.
Wow. And how did you?
I say that so straight though.
So you've known Ace only for 5 months?
No, I'd say 3 months.
3 months. You seem like you've known each other forever.
Seems like that.
And she's like that. She drags you in. She drags everybody in like that. Well, I think it's been nice to have you on the couch, mate.
See you later, mate.
Right, let's get back to the main person now. But Ace, thank you so much. That's great. All right, well, I guess the nickname is him.
Ace.
All right, so everybody, it's just the way you train.
Yeah.
Explain why deload. What is so important in a 4 or 6 week cycle, and why hard to do? Explain deload. What's deload?
Oh gosh, so obviously deload is so many people take deloads differently. You can deload and still be training.
So what's
and
deload?
That
What's
would
the word
just
D stand for?
Bring off the volume, bring off the load that you're putting in your sessions, like get rid of it. And obviously, especially the way that we train, like if you're training with such intensity, your body is going to get so fatigued. And so that deload period, as I said, you can either go into the gym and take lighter weights, lower reps, that kind of thing, or you can take the week completely off. And I'm very stubborn. I absolutely used to hate deloads and stuff like that. I would still want to be in the gym and training, and I didn't really understand the concept around it. And I actually kind of got hit by a bus the other month, last month.
So it's kind of like taking time off?
Yeah.
How long do you take off? Say
Anywhere
in a 4 to 6 week
between
cycle.
5 and 7 days.
Straight?
Yeah. So this is the thing. That's why I'm very stubborn, is because I don't like to do that. I don't want to do that, especially when you're so dedicated to the gym. And
are you 3 days on, 1 day off, 4 days on? What's your
so
training week?
Train 5 days.
Straight?
No, push pull legs, rest, and then upper lower rest. So it's a weird split, but it works so well for me at the moment.
3 rest, 2 rest.
Yeah. And all the rests come after leg days.
And deload is inside a 6 week, have 5 or 7 days off?
Yeah, I would say 6 weeks for me works. Everyone's different. Everyone will some people might need it after 4 weeks. Some people would even go 8 to 12 weeks without one. But it's how you can adapt to it. Like, as I said, I got hit by a bus the other month because I tried to deload and I went into the gym and I did my lower weights, lower reps, everything like that, took volume out completely. But the next week I actually then went even worse for myself, and my mental health actually got really, really bad. So it was I got my coach called it and was like, take the next 5 days off completely. And I came back feeling so much more refreshed, but I was obviously ordered not to touch, put my foot in a gym.
It does that. The gym, it also does that with dieting. Jesus, even bulking up, everything. It's just, it's a crazy place. I've learned, I used to be a perfectionist, and I think it's close to insanity sometimes. So
100%.
I think you answered this before, but I was going to say, what time do you get up in the morning?
Yeah, 6, 7 a.m. My lie-in would be 8:30 a.m.
But what's summer like in the mornings? Are you liking to get up earlier in summer? Same thing, 6 or 7?
I would obviously I haven't experienced an Australian summer here yet.
Oh, but I've heard everyone in England gets up at 7.
What, in summer?
No, all year round it's pretty 7.
No.
What, 9 o'clock?
No, it's definitely lazy people in the UK.
Lazy, oh my God.
9 o'clock. To be fair, for me, 9 o'clock used to be a really good time for me to wake up. But you get more hours in the day when you wake up early. I'm not going to be one of those people that sits there and goes, yeah, I get up at 5 a.m. every single day and I go on my...
I try.
I do
snooze
try
like hell.
it. Yeah.
I'm like snoozing.
Yeah. I definitely have to take like...
Get RSI just pressing the snooze
10 alarms, yeah. 10 alarms. But once I'm up, I'm up. But it is just... If you've got a busy day or you've got loads of work on and...
Well, at least we know you're 7, 8 o'clock. All right, okay. That's
roughly.
a typical POM maybe. That's early for a POM actually. Gym attire. You mentioned this again in one of your posts. Your ideas about that, being comfy. Don't worry about what others think. Come on, I've heard that one as well. So talk about gym attire.
Oh gosh, I could really dig into people. No, I think for me,
because I've noticed you're a baggy tracksuit, hoodie stuff,
oversized everything.
Again, 90s,
it's just,
90s look.
Yeah, it's that style. But for me, it's obviously just the comfort zone of it. Like I love just walking in and like no one sees my body or anything like that until.
Do you feel like you don't want to see it either?
Yeah,
I didn't want to see my body.
Sometimes.
Because I feel like I'm judgmental. So when I don't see it, I don't judge.
Yeah, I think for me, it was just the comfort and the style of it, obviously. But also, I didn't really want to... Sometimes there were days like you just want to cover up. You don't want to... You're training legs, but you don't want to see your legs. But also makes like things like putting on your knee sleeves so much easier. Have you ever tried to put on your knee sleeves like with just bare legs and you're sorting and it's like a whole workout itself? But little things like that. But you notice, especially in Australia, sorry to all you girls, but every girl in Australia seems to kind of come into the gym in their matching set, shorts and a sports bra. They're walking with their like duffel bag and everything, all glammed up. And I think from the get-go, I was never going to be that person that went into the gym like that. Like I've had like people come up to me and they'll go like, I knew it was you from the way that you looked when you walked in. And I was like, it's just one of those things. And it's very common in the UK though. And it's not common here at all.
I was just thinking myself, I think my daughter would associate more with baggy clothing.
Yeah,
I think it's... For her to feel... look, all of it's good.
Yeah.
All of it's good. It's changed completely. But you definitely have a very... 90s look about gym attire because gym attire was just that. Yeah. But
I just I think, as I said, the UK industry and the UK scene is a lot more common for females to be wearing baggy clothes. There's so many bodybuilders that I follow that are from the UK that just dress baggy and it's just purely for comfort and they care strictly they care strictly only about their training and not how they look. But also, there's always got to be another side to it. Like, I'm not going to say
you have done some flexing in your gear. I've watched you flex and showing off your quads and your booties. And everyone does the gluteus maximus pose.
Yeah, I will always, obviously, like, I'll have so many photos. We always take photos at the end of the sessions if we're feeling, like, good. So I'll always do that. And it's not like I don't hide my body. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I'm hiding my body and... I don't want people to see, like, it's not that because I do show. Do you think it's more like, do you think it's do you think it's surprising yourself? So when you do dress down, you are doing it to see what you've done and be impressed and maybe give yourself a little bit of credit? I guess so. And just kind of comes down to the body image side of things. Like some days you'll kind of go into the gym and you're not liking like how you looked in the morning, so you dress like in baggy, okay, that makes sense. And then obviously you don't have to kind of see that and you're just strictly there for training. And again, it comes like you should, if you're walking into the gym and you're dedicated to your training and that lifestyle, then sometimes it just doesn't matter how you look anyway. It's strictly on how you're training. So you got to put all that focus into your training rather than, what outfit am I going to wear today? That kind of thing. So I've just always loved the baggy look. Well, it's definitely in at the moment. Big baggy looks are in. So I would There's just it's not common. Jeans, everyone's wearing baggy jeans now. It looks it's a great look. I like it. It's a nice look. It's just it's not common. Not common in Australia. Well, gyms are air conditioned. Back in the days they weren't. So we wanted to be warm
during winter, but let me tell you, in summer we still wear the same clothes.
Still in tracksuits.
And tracksuits. What's your favourite powerlifting exercise that you can't get enough and it tests you to the nth degree? Which one is it?
Deadlifts.
Deadlifts, is it?
Deadlifts, 100%. Yeah, I think everyone would know that deadlifts are my favourite. 100%. Chris is nodding.
No,
Yeah.
Chris?
Deadlifts.
I've got a question about that, but we're going to...
My deadlifts.
You don't like them? Or you love them?
Yeah.
Like deadlifts?
Yeah, so many people controversy between it.
Well, during COVID, my son was deadlifting in the garage. My son's 17.
Nice.
So he was 15 and he could deadlift at 15. Yeah, 15, definitely 15. 100 and I think he got to 175 kilos.
Yeah, nice.
Deadlifts. I was at 185. He kept wanting to beat me.
Yeah.
I had to keep
Like
trying.
10
I busted my
kilos.
guts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got some deadlifts. It's quite fun, but it's a very. It was. It's. I think deadlifts is a 2020 and going forward rejuvenation. I think in the early 2000s, deadlifts weren't around, even in the teen times of the 20s or the 90s. But deadlifts is like, if you're not deadlifting, you're not hip.
Although it's one of those exercises that some people love it, some people hate it, and not everyone does it. Yeah, not everyone does it. No, it takes a lot out of you, and it is a very risk to reward ratio, because it can, if you do it wrong, it can damage you massively, and a lot of people shy away from it.
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it. You spoke about rushing movements, and because if you're rushing your movements, it means you've got ego. Is that true? Have I got an ego? Have I got an ego?
Do you rush movements?
I rush movements. I must have an ego.
No, it's I think it comes from
I mean, she knows you've been doing it for 5 months.
Me and my 5 months training.
So experienced.
No, you know what? It's just I love the slow tempo movement sometimes. Not for everything, but
your form is whack.
Yes.
Ego movement and your form is whack.
I'm such a bitch.
You are. That's a bitch. Your
That
bitch
is
is part of you.
that is
You've got a lot of bitching going on.
Yeah. No, I think fast movements, you're just not getting the most out of it. I really just love the control of everything. And it's not to say do your bench for 1 minute, you're coming down to your chest 30 seconds, up 30 seconds. It's not like that. It's just control it a little bit more rather than just pumping it out, rushing it, because you'll get more out of it, and it would actually benefit you more just from slowing it down if you want the progressions. If you don't, do what you want.
And what does whack mean?
Whack is, where did that come from? Whack's just another word for shit, but a good word. It's
so when I see someone moving quickly, they've got ego and they're shit. So right? So when someone in the
whack,
gym, so when someone's doing curls like a bitch,
they're whack.
They're whack, and they've got ego.
Yeah.
So I can go past and go, mate, calm down. You got fucking ego.
Yeah.
And you're shit.
Yeah. There's so
you're
many
whack.
people, yeah.
I'm gonna use that all the time. Whack.
Ego is
whack.
a huge thing now in the gym. Massive.
I want to know when, because I think I'm talking about your competitions. I hope so. We're getting these things. Why?
Oh gosh.
Why certain rituals before a deadlift? What do you do exactly and think? And are you bringing up ex-boyfriends? So right, bang bang, slap, whatever.
No,
Is it are you going deep? What's going on there?
No, I actually try and just
and everyone's
channel.
Around you, going,
I try and channel everything out of it. So rather than thinking about a specific thing or anything at all, that's the kind of time for me to just get everything out of my head.
Tell us, what does that mean? Out. Rituals. Why? Lifting big.
Because
why can't you just walk up and lift it? Why do you have to
I think it's more of just the preparation. It's just really preparing yourself, especially for numbers like that, as a female who's how do I explain that? So obviously strength isn't natural to most females. So for me to lift that weight is huge on my body.
But guys do that too, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It's not
they
just
have
subject to
their
you,
own
I'm just asking
rituals. Yeah. Mine's very just implemented into all my lifts. I had rituals for squat, bench, deadlift, everything.
Rituals, yes.
Yeah. So it just I think it just took all my thoughts out, so I could purely focus on that. And if you have so many things going on in your head, you're not gonna put focus into your lift. You're gonna there's so many things around just lifting, because you've got a brace and you've obviously got things like deadlift, you've got to pull the slack and little things like that. And if you're all over the place and your anxiety's high and your heart's racing, then you're not going to be in it as much. So that ritual is just simply, for me anyway, is just to kind of calm me down and let my brain know, okay, we're about to lift something big. Because I don't do it.
That's calming down.
No.
Do you visualize? Do you do visualization?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Have you already picked it up before you pick it up?
Yeah. Visualization is one thing that I think helped me massively in my competitions and just any really big lifts or PRs in general. Wow. I would either go sit in the corner. There's so many photos.
What's a PR again? I know what a PB is. What's a PR?
Oh my gosh. Why are you testing me?
We've got 5 months.
Personal best.
PBs, I know what PBs are.
PRs.
Personal
record. I've always just said PRs without actually knowing the full abbreviation for it. That is tragic.
Oh my God, she's been exposed, everyone.
Wow.
Oh my God, there goes her career race.
All
of a sudden, she's going to go from 10 people on Instagram down to 5.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
God, what have I done to you? I've ruined your life.
God, we can't let this one get uploaded.
Yeah, Chris.
Cut that out.
Chris, it's going to be a big one for us.
Yes.
Yeah, we're based.
No, it's I think.
Whatever PR is. Personal records.
That sounds right. Wait.
Personal records for bitches. All right. Okay. So I get it. And what about, do you have superstition? Like, do you have you wear the same undies, socks, a bracelet?
Yes. In my competitions I did. And even in my cheerleading competitions.
What did you do?
I had these specific pants that I wore.
Pants?
You guys say, how do I say
undies?
Yeah, we've had this conversation. I had to, undies.
Undies,
so
man.
I hate that word. I had specific underwear that I would wear. And in my competitions with powerlifting, it came to the socks that I wore as well.
Wow, look at that.
And it was just little things like that. So it was 2 major things. But also, just I had superstitions. But for me, I was very... what's the word? I was very kind of into manifesting the outcomes for all my results and stuff like that.
Did you do that when you were young?
No.
I've been a massive visualization person since, I was going to say 16, but I could go even earlier. I could go 8 years old. Just visualization. Just, I see everything. I used to visualize my body when I used to bodybuild.
Oh, crazy.
I knew
I
knew my waistline. I knew my quads.
That's crazy.
I knew my bicep size just by visualizing. I know I mention my showers, don't I, all the time. I say about my showers. I always think in the shower.
Yeah.
But that's what I said. We'll solve poverty and world problems and everything going on in the world if I just have the shower running right now. But I love visualization.
Visualization is huge, and I think some people don't realize it. But just to be in the corner and sit down with your eyes closed before you're about to lift something huge is preparing yourself for that.
Fuck, it just takes you out of the room too sometimes. It's an amazing thing. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
180 kilo deadlift. I mean, mine's 175. I think only was 165. But that's me at 51. But that's a different story, and I nearly lost all my internals. That's what I said. Is that your PB?
Yeah, at the moment, 180. Okay. That was back in February? Right at the end of January. Yeah, right at the end of January, at the hard body first ever meet up. Atmosphere was insane.
We're going to talk about that. So that's your PB. Yeah. And squat. What do you squat, Chris? I want to know this. What is it?
130.
120, baby.
No, mine's 135.
What?
Yeah. My recent one, my last ever
Chris.
time that I squatted was in November.
You're a bitch, Chris.
You're a bitch. Yeah, that's.
Chris, you're a bitch, Chris. What's yours, Ace?
Do you barbell squat?
It's been a while. I think I did up to 140.
Oh, maybe you're not a bitch.
Yeah.
But anyway,
No, yeah.
I don't think I'm even close to the 100. But anyway, that's.
I
I'm
don't
a
like
real
barbell
bitch.
squats.
I
can talk about that
love
one
squatting,
after.
man. I tell you my biggest squat. I think oh man, I don't know what to say. I'm afraid to say it. I think it was pound. Kilos is more than pounds. Is that correct?
No, pounds is more. Pounds
so
is
what?
more.
What's 50 kilos in pounds?
Roughly just over 100. Yeah. Roughly.
I'm going to shock you, but I think I've squatted 300 kilos. True. Does that sound too much? Yeah. Does that sound too much?
Yeah.
But that's in my 20s. I've got big quads. Is it too much?
It's quite a lot.
All right, wait a minute. Let's look at it. A bar. Go with me, guys.
Bar's 20.
Yep. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. What's that so far?
350s.
Yeah, that's what I've squatted. I can tell you more.
150, 300.
That is
320.
Yeah, that's fucking strapped knees, belt,
Oh, good old straps.
and baggy, daggy fucking tracksuit, sweating my ass off. I think I even remember. I'll tell you now. I was wearing a grey tracksuit.
He's
with
mesmerised.
a white sloppy. Yeah, I was, and I'm at 103 fucking kilos right now. I think I was 85 kilos then.
Oh,
To
wow.
90. That was heavy. I was thinking that was heavy, 85. And that was squatting knee straps on, tie, belt done, and someone behind me. And not just one squat, a few squats. And that's how it was back then. I'm telling you, you didn't know how insane it was. It was insane. Insane. But
Credits to you. That's sick.
boom. No bitch here. All right, but you, Chris, you're a bitch. All right, you're a bitch, Chris.
Are we going to title it?
What,
up?
135 now,
Not
is it?
bitches.
We're doing
Yeah,
a song now.
well,
We're going to do the song and you're going to be in it doing the cheerleading in the background.
November, I haven't squatted properly since November, which was my last competition.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to test you out again. I noticed you like dressing up, like you like wearing a little crown, looking pretty. Do you like pretty? And is pink your favorite color?
No, pink's not my favorite color.
What's your favorite color?
Light blue. Light blue.
But do you like being?
I
pretty?
don't. Yeah, I think it takes that sense. I don't get dressed up enough. Like I honestly
But I saw a picture with you with a crown on.
That was my birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, me and my best mate Grace.
So that would have been last
went
September.
Yeah, went out for a nice night in London.
Grace, good old Grace.
Good old Grace. Shout out Grace.
I like Grace. All right, you went out, yeah.
Yeah, so that was things
So
like
you like
that.
dressing up? You like being girly?
Yeah, but not all the time. I can't do it every
you a
weekend.
tomboy?
I wouldn't say I'm
You
a
don't look like
tomboy, but
man. I don't know why.
No, I'm not a tomboy, but I'm just very much casual, comfy all the time. So I'm usually always just in tracksuits and stuff, and that's just kind of how I am.
But when you go out?
But when I go out, no, I do like dressing up when I go out.
Yeah?
We're going out Friday, first time in.
This Friday?
Yeah, first time in however
the
long.
podcast waiting. Where are you going?
Oh yeah.
No, because we're going to put it next week. It's still like you can't find
last Friday.
it. Yeah. Well, she's going this Friday, which when you watch everybody is last Friday.
Chop House in Sydney. It's
What?
a nice steakhouse.
Chop.
Chop House.
Where's that?
City, Darling Harbour.
Is it expensive?
Yeah.
We're not
Unfortunately,
making
yeah.
enough money yet, Chris.
But you know
to go
what?
there.
I haven't
We'll
gone
stick
out.
to-
I haven't gone out with a group of people since actually coming over. So for the whole 5 months, I haven't properly been out. Obviously been out with my family, but yeah. So first for everything.
Like I said, it seems like you've been here forever.
Yeah.
It's kind of dragging us along now.
Yeah.
Okay. Explain GPC, World Championships.
Oh yeah.
What is the GPC?
It's
I think as well you did an Arnold Classic.
no.
I saw the big sign saying Arnold Classic behind
Yeah,
it.
that was the expedition.
Oh,
I'll talk about that after.
And lastly,
That was a good weekend.
what's a Project D donut? Do you know what a Project D donut is? But have you seen the post?
No, you're
You haven't seen it?
UK.
Is that a UK thing?
Yeah.
All right, so let's explain
Yeah.
what is GPC?
So
Is that like a world championship?
well, yeah, Global Powerlifting Committee is the federation, so GPC, and the World Championships last year were held in Slovakia.
So you went to Slovakia?
Yeah, me and my mum went out.
Gosh.
And
Your mum's a bit of a party girl.
It
Isn't
is
she? She likes to, she's
Yeah.
using you for everything, isn't
yeah, I
she?
know.
She's
Oh,
using
you
for
know what? She
Australia.
actually used me for clout that weekend.
So what she use you for?
Clout. She literally
clout?
like fame. Not fame, but like fame.
Fame,
'Cause I'm not
huh?
famous.
She's my
but-
girl.
She goes, oh, my daughter's competing in the World Championships this weekend. And I was like, Mum, please just stop. No one cares. And she's like, just saying.
That sounds like me. I
I
do
was
that with my
like-
daughter. I'm like, you know.
I was like, Mum, please shut up. I don't care.
God.
Not everyone needs to know. But yeah, it was a nice weekend. It was nice to see Slovakia. It's not somewhere that I'd choose to go. But yeah, it was interesting to see. And obviously, it was good to travel. It was my first ever international competition.
Wow. And you went specifically for powerlifting. How'd you go?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, amazing. We had like...
Did you get a trophy there? I think you came first.
Oh, I got so much there. I came first. So I got 6 world records in the end.
What?
And came
World
first.
records?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah, it was for my bench and deadlifts.
Is that because of your age?
Yeah, age and weight.
So you're a world record holder.
Yeah, for my age and weight. Crazy.
Stop everything like Chris. Let's get the champagne out. Jesus Christ. Are we giving this little girl water?
Our water's good with me, honestly. No, yeah, it was a crazy weekend. Came away with they actually gifted like a 5 kilo tub of protein. And me and my mum went. Well, yeah, they had trophies.
And customs didn't let it go through, and it wasn't protein; it was cocaine. Oh my god!
Honestly.
They used you Slovakians.
Honestly.
The fucking Slovakians. They knew how to get you into. They knew how to get it into England. They said,
Yeah.
"We're going to give this girl
gonna get it
5 kilo protein, but it's
Yeah.
really cocaine, and we'll meet her at the other side.
Yeah.
We'll take out her mum, and we'll sell it." That's how.
That's crazy.
Smart,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, so yeah, it was part of the
What an imagination.
part of the gift was 5 kilo tub of protein, obviously trophy, medal, certificate, and then obviously just like shakers and stuff like that. But yeah, the thing was, how the hell are we going to get this through customs? And
Did you?
luckily, yeah, they took it in hand luggage. Like
5
literally, it was
kilos.
sealed. It could have been anything. And it just went through security in the hand luggage, and they didn't say anything. Obviously, it was 5 a.m. They probably all didn't want to be there. But it's, if you're going to smuggle drugs, at least...
you could have just done what everyone else does. Like, you just shove it up your ass, and then when you get out...
5
you
kilos.
Just, 5 kilos of protein. It
Oh,
sounds like something
that
from
is just-
Midnight Express. But anyway, that was... Have you ever watched the movie Midnight Express? It's a good movie. It's about a guy that tried to smuggle drugs. But anyway, well, I was going to say, I see you like... hang on. Let's go back a bit.
Oh.
What was this Arnold Classic thing that I saw? Big Arnold Classics. And I see you jumping around like you're doing gymnastics, which now you tell me you do. But tell me about
Yeah.
the Arnold Classic.
Yeah, so Arnold Classic was an expedition that was held in the UK last year in Birmingham.
So it was just not a competition.
No, it wasn't a competition. It was they obviously had bodybuilding competitions, they had powerlifting competitions, and
I saw they had some posing.
yeah, it's a
comps.
whole, it's a massive thing, and was one of the biggest expeditions in the UK. And obviously, it was a very last minute decision for us to go. We booked an Airbnb, hopped in with.
Did your mum
a couple
go
of-
too?
No. This was our kind of like group that we started training with.
Is this the group that you had this
Amazing
Project
Circle.
D
Yeah,
donut?
no. They honestly.
Chris, you've got to see this donut, man.
Project D is
The box itself is massive.
Yeah, it's a company that
Project D?
obviously, yeah,
What do they do?
donuts. But they specify in
English?
donuts and stuff. Yeah,
Really?
UK donuts. But they obviously are very sweet, thick. Like they're like your good.
It
type
actually
of
doesn't look like a
donuts.
muffin. A donut. It looks
It's
like some massive muffin
Huge,
type
it's
thing.
huge. Yeah.
And I think I saw big Cadbury chocolate on top of this thing.
Yeah, they do all sorts. You can have like Oreo ones, Cadbury ones. There's loads.
Makes me feel like one now.
But
And
Yeah.
okay, so all right. Well, do you recommend those donuts?
Yeah, 100%. If you're in the UK, yeah, 100%. But if you're in Australia, I couldn't really tell you because I haven't been able to have any.
You haven't had anything?
No,
You've been
my
here for 5
diet,
months.
yeah,
Your
but
diet.
diet.
Oh, so you're on a strict diet, are you?
Yeah.
Why?
I have been since. Well, I'm like 13 weeks in now.
For what? What are you going to do?
So it's literally just to pull off the body fat,
Yeah.
and get ourselves in a good position before we push up, and then hopefully we'll either look at competing next year or the year after.
Powerlifting?
No, bodybuilding. Transition.
Are you going like to bodybuilding, bikini? What comp are you going to do?
So we're looking ideally at figure, but all could change in terms of my physique. I could end up going into wellness or something, but figure is my kind of goal line right now.
Why are you transitioning?
I've kind of always been, well, I've been surrounded by bodybuilders. The way that I trained has always been related to bodybuilding, and that for me, it was just more of a drive. So I really think it's a challenge though, because bodybuilding it's hard. And the whole dieting thing of it is hard, and it's something I struggle with massively.
Wow.
So,
okay, so you don't know exactly
yeah.
what you're going to do, but
No,
you're going to do
it's-
something
yeah.
on stage, possibly in high heels, possibly
Possibly in high heels, yeah.
or the gymnast thing, which is no shoes.
Do you know what that would? Yeah, I remember watching that at the Arnold's last year, and we were like, oh my gosh, like that would be fucking amazing. That would be perfect.
Which one?
I think it's athletic. It's the athletic category. And they're still bodybuilders in bikinis, and you can obviously do a separate category. So you can do that category, and then you can do like figure as well. And obviously they have these routines, and it's obviously like very gymnastics, dance based, which is obviously my background. So it was something that I'd be like, you know what, you're combining two of my passions together. It could be, but I also still want to carry the love of powerlifting.
You think you're going to do it from time to time?
Yes, it's very uncommon, and that's why I want to do it. It's part of me.
Oh,
I
right.
really want to be that kind of uncommon person.
Maybe you can do powerlifting in bikinis. Like really take it to
Oh my
in high
gosh!
heels
Oh my
too.
gosh! Yeah,
With high heels.
that's crazy. No, you know what? That's
we could
it's
start
it's just a bit of everything. I think I enjoy powerlifting, but I don't enjoy it enough to really put full focus into it.
that. I think you're
it
going to.
happens.
I think everything you're doing so far is amazing. I've been, like I said, I watched a lot yesterday going through to get this ready for today, and you got an innocence about you, but God, you got some mongrel. And so I like it. You seem to be angry, and then when you lift and you succeed, then you become soft.
So happy. Oh yeah, people in the gym, like I walk into the gym, I'd have my hat on, headphones on, hood up, whatever, and I wouldn't I look like a proper bitch. I look like someone that's just yeah. But if you actually spoke to me, like obviously don't speak to me in my sets or whatever.
Yes.
But if you actually speak to me, like I do open up. I don't open up to everyone, but there are very few people that will realize and go, you know what, I actually fucking love your vibe. And I've had people say that to me, and I appreciate that, because obviously I don't let everyone see that. So
No, I see it. Like I said, I always like watching people's expressions, and you've always got a sweet expression when you finish what you're doing, which is good. Yeah, like I said, I see you're quite the gymnast.
yeah.
And how does that work with powerlifting, or does it help? Or from what I know now, gymnast came first. Did that help with powerlifting? And in powerlifting, does it make you a better gymnast? But I've seen your little cheerleading moves, which now make sense, and you're jumping and hooping and flipping over and backwards flip, and then just flipping all of a sudden. Yeah, tell us. So you were a gymnast from what age?
So I started when I was 8, and I quit gymnastics when I was 12. But
Did you compete?
Yeah, I did like a couple.
Were you world champion?
No. I did like a couple like novice competitions at that age. But cheerleading was kind of like my true passion, because
Who'd you cheerlead for?
it wasn't like, so cheerleading in the
Oh, it was
UK.
a competition thing.
Yeah,
like they do in America.
Yeah, so you compete against
do
like other
the-
teams and stuff, but
and
not
flips
like
and that
for
and that.
someone.
How long did you do that for?
7 years.
And that was your passion? You loved it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Competed?
So we competed like every year. I was in 3 or 4 teams.
My next question, and I'm not sure, I see you like to travel, or where have you been? Is there a favourite place? So I saw something of you, maybe that was because you were in England at the time. You had some cocktails. You had life, and you were doing cocktail drinks and cheering. And do you travel? Have you travelled much?
When I was younger, but like that was more for like holidays and stuff like that. At this age,
you haven't travelled enough yet.
It's not been like major travelling or anything like that. I'd say my biggest has obviously just been this move to Australia, but then also
and Slovakia.
Yeah. But to be fair,
And
like
distributing and exporting of 5 kilos.
My 5 kilos of whatever it was.
Whatever that was in the tub.
My friends actually have that tub because I couldn't bring it over here.
Are they Slovakian?
No.
Oh, right.
No,
Well, that's okay. Is there a place you'd like to go travel?
I would honestly love to go to America, somewhere that I haven't been.
Oh, right.
But more so just because the industry is so big out there.
Oh, so everything's around this.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
No, but outside of that, I'd love to go back to Greece, but do it
You've
when
been
I'm
to
older.
Greece?
Yeah.
Was your family used to go to Greece?
Yeah, it was
Were
a
you
good
guys,
holiday.
EOS?
No.
Crete?
No.
Rogues?
No. It was lower, south, near Mykonos. I can't remember the name of it.
EOS?
No.
All the pubs drank there, man. You
No,
got off
but
and the whole place smelled like a liquor shop. Got off at this island and it just smelled of alcohol.
It
and
was
rowdy
a very good,
palms.
very good holiday, but I also want to go see it when I'm older. So
Santorini?
No, I would love to go there though. Santorini and Mykonos are like the 2 places that I would want to
Samos?
go. No.
That's where my dad's from.
Nice.
Well, you've explained Greece well to us.
No, but I think I'd love to.
And whack.
Yeah,
no,
whack.
whack you got, right? Oh, PR. That's what you couldn't
PR.
get us to the PR bit.
PR.
Greece and PR is not your strong points, by the way.
But traveling, something that I want to do when I'm older, especially. It just over the next kind of like 5 years would just be really, really good to do. Just because there's so much more to see. And even just coming out to Australia, like you understand that because there's so many parts of Australia that I haven't seen. And even in Sydney, it's massive.
I want to travel around Australia. I could get into Sydney, but let's just keep going a little bit on what my questions are.
Yeah.
You seem to like to go out, eat nice food, have a drink, a cocktail occasionally. How do you work that in, fit it in with your training?
I actually haven't gone out in the last like 4 or 5 months, as I said.
Yeah, but that's like not your whole life.
Just-
It's okay. But you did exercise, you did train, you did something, but you seem like you still hold on to a bit of like going out and trying different delicacies out there. Some people don't do that.
Yeah, and I think some
You have
people
a bit of a drink, meaning, well, you're a pom's a drink. But I noticed cocktails. I just noticed like a bit of...
we're drinking.
You've got a thing called life. And when I went through or something through your post, there's different cuisines.
Yeah.
Even like bacon and eggs and stuff like that, you know?
Especially me and Grace, we loved our food. We would go out like once, twice a month to a different restaurant each time.
Grace is your best friend?
Yeah.
Is she in England?
Yeah, right now.
Is she going to come to Australia?
Potentially. Grace, get over here.
So you eat and drink, you like a bacon and eggs.
Yeah, there's just good food and just like there's good restaurants around the UK anyway. But yeah, it was just nice to go out and it took things away from obviously training. But fitting it in, obviously, in terms of your nutrition, sometimes you look at fitting it in with your macros, but sometimes you just have to completely forget about everything and just do it because you don't really get to experience it as much as like you want down the line. Especially if I go into competing and like prepping and stuff, like that's going to be the things that you're going to have to miss out on. You can't always eat those meals. You can't eat those meals too.
Do you think about competing ever, Chris?
Can you not do it with the food?
Well, he's very particular about his food, though.
But that's some people can't do it. Some people can't do it, but it's a challenge. But I do love my food, and obviously once this kind of diet phase is over, it'd be nice to have a meal out and stuff. So
okay,
it'd be good. But
mental health and the gym. Do you think it goes hand in hand? It brings people to the gym, and unbeknown, for reasons true, help with mental health? What do you think?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
It's like everybody in there's got mental health problems. We're all...
That is true. It is true. I think every one of us is a little bit fucked up.
Yeah,
but
maybe the people at the desk should have a psychology course.
Honestly, yeah.
When we walk in. I think when we
gotta
walk
have
in...
a quiz.
I think when they say, do you want a 1 month membership or a 6 month or 1 yearly? And do you want psychologists with that?
Yeah.
It's like fries.
But it is a whole place of people come in. And you know what? If anyone actually is in the gym and they are completely sane and normal, is more scary itself. But I definitely think it drives people to the gym because it does better them in whatever way that works best for them, whether it's just training itself or it's everything around training. But there's always aspects that it leads to benefit in like mental health. As I said, like for me, coming out of my stage of this bad mental health and suffering, like it just kind of, I don't know, just gave me more of a drive to keep bettering myself, and also to know that I don't ever want to be the person that I was. So I definitely think there's correlation between the gym and mental health, and a very important thing as well that people don't really talk about enough of.
Do you find, you're quite young, but I know myself, my ex-wife used to say to me when I was uptight, she goes, can you just go to the gym? And I'd go to the gym, and sometimes I go, I think I need to go to the gym. Yeah. And it's just to release, to let go. It does something, which is obviously endorphins and all that, but I just feel it's like without making it sound religious, it's like a place of worship in some ways for our mental health. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but like I said, I think, yeah, you're right. Everyone's just fucked up in there, man.
Like, you know what, my mum even said to me, like, I was like quite an angry kind of person, but my anger directed towards things in training. So like my lifts and stuff like that. And I was able to direct that anger to that. And
it helped
like,
you.
Yeah, 100%.
So your mum would say, go to the gym, wouldn't you? Go and lift something.
No, she didn't understand it at first, but she obviously saw the person I started to become and actually noticed like these little changes in myself.
With nursing, I suppose, being a midwife.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, we're going to get into the final part, and this is actually why everyone does get on the podcast, is we're going to go through the body, right? Yeah. We're going to start from traps down to calves. And if you don't train them, you don't train them. So don't answer it. You just go, I don't train them. But most people seem to not train traps. We're going to start with traps. All I want is an exercise. How many sets, how many reps? Okay? I'll give you an example. Biceps, I might say hammer curls. Yep. And I might say 3 sets or 2 sets. And I might say 15 to 20. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't really say the weight. You know what I mean? Yeah. So... you ready to go? Yep. All right. So, do you train traps?
I used... hold on. I'm going to rephrase that question. No. I'll actually say I don't train traps.
All right. So, I'll just go. What about delts? Rear delt. So, there's a rear delt, side delt, front delt. Right. So, what do you do for rear delts?
Rear delts.
Pick an exercise. If you have to pick one.
Rear delt flies. Simple.
Bend over?
No. Machine rear delt flies or cable. Cable actually became one of my favorites. Cable rear delt flies. Cable rear delt flies. No attachments. No attachments. Just this, like the cables.
How many sets?
And I would go 2 or 3 right at the start of a pull session. Rep wise, till failure.
What's the number? Till failure.
That is the number. There's no number.
What number
have you got till failure.
We need the numbers.
It depends on the weight. So sometimes with rear delts, because it's more of an accessory than a compound, anywhere 10 plus is a good number.
Is that failure?
Yeah.
Didn't you say
as long as you physically cannot go.
Did you say no weight?
No weight. What do you mean?
What weight? Yeah, some weight.
So like obviously some weight.
But 10. Yours is 10.
What? Weight? Reps?
No, reps.
Anywhere above 10 reps. As long as you get to that last one and you physically cannot do it.
What's the last one? Everyone's
I
going
don't
to
know. It
ask what's the last
depends.
one.
It depends. It depends.
Do you reckon they can
It's
get to 15?
50.
15.
Oh, 15, yeah. You can get to
10 to
15.
15, okay.
Yeah.
20?
No.
All right. Chris, between 15 and 20, but 10's happy. We need this because people seem to argue with the numbers. They like
what
to argue
is
with our
till
numbers.
failure? Yeah.
What is till failure? What about side delts?
Side delts. I loved cuffed cable cuffed cable lateral raises. So you've
Is that
got
lying on your back?
yeah. So you're on an
I've just discovered that.
very
Never
slight
done it.
incline on a bench, and you're lying down, and you put the cuffs obviously on your forearms, and obviously just bring it out. But some people bring it too far forwards. Some people bring it way too far back. You got to find that kind of motion that really gets it. For me, that's just been a favourite at the moment. So, yeah.
I've got to try that cuff thing. What about front?
Front, shoulder
sorry, how many sets, how many reps?
Oh.
Someone's watching. They want to try. This little girl, she's sitting there.
You know what? I would go with these ones.
Oh, boy. Look at him.
It's very cliche, a very good 10 to 12 reps. Sets. I actually do three. Three on these ones. Three or four. 3 or 4 is perfect.
You can't say 3. You got 3?
3.
All right, thank you. English. You've got to speak well. What about front? Front.
I'm questioning how I say things now.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay.
I'm listening to
Shoulder press.
Shoulder press?
Yeah, at a very slight incline. Some people love a good high incline shoulder press, which is obviously where the
But we're talking about the front line. Is that right? Coming down here, is that correct?
Yeah.
How many sets? How many reps?
So for me, I do 2 sets. One set is heavier weight and lower reps, and the second set will always be higher reps, lower weight. So for me, obviously, they're still both till failure, but one set will have more reps than the other, and the other one obviously less, but focuses more on your strength. For me, actually, shoulder press has been my favourite. I actually got a subtle flex. I got 30 kilo dumbbells up the other day.
I think I saw a post. How much was that? The 2 dumbbells?
I actually did it for 5. Yeah, 30
What was the weight?
kilos. 30 kilos either side. So 60 kilos in general.
30
we got
kilos.
them for,
What about you, Chris? What can you do?
I don't force my shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sort of shoulders as well.
That's good.
Because I've dislocated my shoulders.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
I usually use that excuse when a girl lifts heavier than me.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. I get you, Chris. Ace,
No,
what
I
do you
just-
do?
35s for my.
Jesus Christ, you don't look that strong, but you are. Nah, I'm just joking. You look great. All right.
No, yeah, that was.
Okay. So what?
Rough.
Oh, so we said 2. One is till 10 with a heavy
Yeah.
weight, and the other one's till failure.
Yeah. Well, both till failure, but one's a lower rep range. So for example, last week with my 30 kilos, the top set was 30, which is obviously the higher weight, and I repped it for about 5. For me, that obviously is my till failure set. The second one, obviously being the back off set, as we call it, is a lower weight. So we drop down, obviously it'll be something like 25 kilos, and that'll be for about 10 reps or something.
Wow.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Back.
Nice.
Upper back.
Ooh, upper back.
Laterals, whatever, upper back. Yeah.
I love dumbbell rows, bent over dumbbell rows at the moment.
Dumbbell rows.
Yeah.
In a hammock kind of position? Or
Yeah,
which
so slightly, obviously pronated grip, slightly turned in, but really kind of bringing it up. I find that works best for my upper back. I don't do too many upper back movements, don't get me wrong. But that one specifically is again been a favourite for me.
How many reps, sets?
Similar to the shoulder press, would be a top set and a back off set.
So 2 sets?
2 sets, both heavyweight, pushing as many reps as you can with that weight.
Give me a number.
So with these ones, I can actually usually do more. For me, I like feeling the feeling more reps with it, I think I'd say.
So what is it?
I would go 10 plus.
10, 15?
So yeah, 10 to 15.
Hey,
be
just
good.
going back to the shoulder press, you said where do you position your bench?
Oh, on a slight incline. So obviously you've got your incline press.
Yeah.
And then you've got a slight incline, and then you've got your high incline. I go just in that mid-range. And for me, that works perfectly. It does get a bit of like peck in there. Me and my coach had this discussion before we put the movement in, but it has been like so good for me because it doesn't take too much on my rotator cuff, and that was one injury that was kind of flaring up here and there. So the high incline just worked so well for me.
Do you recommend coaches? You can mention coaches.
Coach, I'm coached by AJ Morris at the moment. He's a natural bodybuilding coach. Yeah,
it's good.
Very,
Everyone
very
should
good.
have a coach.
Yeah. You know what? If you're,
have you ever had a coach? I've never had a coach.
If you're serious and that kind of, I think it's so good to keep learning from other people. And there's a saying, obviously, if you feel like you know everything, you know nothing.
Yes. There's also another saying: if you're the smartest person in the room, leave.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's true. I think, especially in this industry, you can always learn off other people, and you should never think that you know it all. And there's always going to be someone who knows more than you, and to learn off that person to make you a better person is always important. So I definitely recommend having a coach. Even though I'm a coach myself, I'll always say to other people, like having a coach is not a bad thing.
Okay. Lower back
deadlifts.
How many sets?
Top set, back off set. At the moment, I've only been doing one set. I'll have strictly one set.
How many reps?
So it's very low reps. This is strictly for my strength though. So deadlifts.
So you load it up?
Yeah. So my deadlifts recently have been anywhere between 140 and 160 kilos.
And how many sets? Reps?
Sets would just be one, and then reps would be between 3 and 6.
Oh, okay,
so quite low, but obviously doesn't damage anything to my fatigue, and obviously just keeps building the strength up each week. So it works for me. It's been working.
I'm sure it works out there.
Yeah.
Chest, upper chest. Do you train it?
Yeah. I do love a good incline press. I've been doing it on the... I used to until it took a little bit of my rotator cuff. So I've actually been using the Smith machine for mine.
Oh, the Smith machine, yeah?
Yeah, really, really good. Obviously takes a little bit of tension off that rotator cuff. And I think that's why my shoulder press started kind of getting better as well. So just swapping the exercises in and out.
Incline press?
Yeah,
on
incline
what
press.
Machine was it again?
Smith machine.
Smith machine. How many sets?
I'd go 2 with this
Reps?
one. One set at a lower 6 to 8, and then the other one 8 plus. Would be good.
Okay, and since it was upper chest, how about just chest in general, the center of the chest? Do you break it up at all?
I don't really break it up too much. Chest, I only kind of have maybe 6 to 8 sets per week of chest. I don't like to target them too much.
So is there, is there a flat bench or center chest?
I would just bench. Bench is just, everyone will so many people will disagree with me on this one. I don't know if you've heard the controversy of bench won't grow your chest. There's so many people out there that will tell you that bench doesn't grow your chest, but it does. And
we did in the 90s, let me tell you, that's all we had. We just had incline, guys. We just had, and it wasn't just an incline, it was a set-up incline machine. And then it was a flat bench press. It wasn't like click and find the right position. It was, that's the position. Yeah. And that's the position.
There's so many people.
And they're the world marks.
Yeah, so many people will say that it's not like optimal and everything, and there's just so much around it that...
Until Arnold
bench,
until, what's his name? Jesus Christ, I'm blank. Dorian Yates that, but I mean, until Lee Haney that, and a few other Olympians, and
I think bench.
Frank Zane, when they didn't have adjustables of nothing.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming, but they could send a complaint letter to me and just address that to 3OG.
Yeah. Anyway. So many females shy away from bench though. Like, so many females will shy away from bench because they're scared of kind of having a manly chest or whatever. But for me, like, it hasn't done that. It's actually just made the separation from my chest to my delts look better.
How many sets? How many reps?
Bench at the moment has only been one, obviously just in this diet phase. Usually it's about 2, top set, back off set. I would go anywhere between 6 to 8 reps and then 8 to 12. But if you really want 12 plus.
How many sets did we say?
2.
2. All right, I'm going to say something because you're actually the first female, you know that.
Yeah, no.
You are the first person. So let me ask a question which could get me slapped. Or she could say edit it and you don't get to hear it anymore. Do girls worry about their boobs when it comes to bench press?
I think that's why people shy away from it.
Is that why?
Yeah,
what does it do?
I think
It takes away their breasts or enhances it? What I'm getting at is what... tell me, the question about chest exercises and boobs.
Like for me, obviously down the line, it has. Like I look back on photos like 2 years ago and I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually had boobs. Whereas like now you see it in like photos in like my sports bra, you can see that I've just got more of a defined chest, so it does look flatter. But it depends on the way that you train. Does it concern
you though?
It doesn't concern me. Okay. I know that that's but I think some girls do find that they'll shy away from those things because they don't want a manly chest, and it doesn't make you manly unless you put full intensity into it. Like I think benching is very powerful. It's a very good movement to be good at. So I think everyone should be able to do it. I don't think it should be a men should only bench and girls can't bench at all bit and all this. But
I'm with you. Okay. Yeah. What about bicep?
I've been loving preacher curls at the moment.
Preacher curls is a popular one, Chris. On the bench, that preacher curl, 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Dumbbell or bar?
Bar at the moment.
And how many sets? How many reps?
I like to do between 3 and 4 sets. Rep wise 10 plus. With biceps,
what would you top it up? 10 plus what?
15. 15 I'd say max. But I do love good, like a high volume set on with any kind of arm movements. So same with triceps.
What did you do for triceps?
Triceps, simple pull downs, simple tricep extensions on the cables, with a longer rope attachment.
Rope?
Yeah, like one of the longer ones. Because it's simple, but it does the job and it works. And
do you do it up close or do you step back a little bit to do?
For me, I've always been like shuffling around with this exercise. It's one thing for me, like I've been like sometimes up close, sometimes a bit back. I'm really trying to find that like in the middle point.
It does do a good job.
But yeah, it's I would say not too close, not too far away. You want to be just kind of in the middle of it. Yeah, exactly.
And how many sets, how many reps?
3 to 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps or higher.
Okay. Abs. An ab exercise.
I don't really train. Well,
we don't have to talk about it.
No, I would go. Do you know what, actually, it's not training abs for the look of it for me. It was mainly just building the core strength. So one thing that worked for me was weighted planks.
Oh, weighted planks.
Yeah, so I'd put like a 20 kilo on the back of me and then just hold it for like...
Plank on your
elbows. Yeah, okay. And I'd hold it for as long as possible. And I'd
How long do you hold it for, you reckon?
I'd go over a minute, sometimes get into a minute and a half.
Ooh,
and then I'd cool it and then rest and then do it again. But I'd only do 2 usually. But for me, it didn't just build like abs or anything. Like I don't have like visible abs. But it was more of the core strength that you can use in towards your all your compounds.
You will in the future.
Yeah,
I hope. What did we say? Did you say how many? So you said a minute to 30
seconds, yeah.
And you do how many sets?
2 sets.
2 sets, okay.
Yeah.
Quads.
Ooh. It's a hard one.
What are your favourites?
Very hard one. I would. Can I choose 2?
Oh yeah, go 2. Why not?
I would go 2. So Smith machine squats and hack squats. Like they are 2 of my favourites at the moment.
And, sets and reps.
2 sets for both. Again, one top set, one back off set. The top set being your higher weight, lower reps, so going about 6 to 8, and then your back off set being lower weight, higher reps, 10 to 12 plus, I'd say.
Okay. Both of them?
Yeah, but very, very good compounds to have. Sometimes overlooked as well, especially Smith machine squats. I think obviously you've got barbell squats, but not everyone loves barbell squats. And I think Smith machine has just been something that it still gives you the, like, it's not a right word, but being uncomfortable under the bar is what you're going to feel from squats, and you still get that with Smith machine squats, and you can still push heavy weight, but it also allows you to add more like hypertrophy towards it rather than just 3 reps with a barbell. Then
is it big range of movements, get down low to get back up?
Yeah, 100%. I think you actually get more range of motion with Smith machine than you do with barbell squats.
If you had to pick one, if we said you can only have one, which one would it be?
Hack squats.
Hack squat. Okay.
Yeah.
What about hamstring?
I actually love it's so cliche, but just seated hamstring curls.
Everybody seems to like this seated one. It looks a bit lazy to me.
Lion is really, really good, but sometimes
that's all we had. We just had a lying thing.
Lion
now,
one.
but everyone's got the seated one. So yeah, I seated.
Lion's really, really good though.
Yeah, but seated is what? How many reps? How many sets?
With hamstrings, I actually go higher than a usual kind of like compound. So 10 to 12 plus, and 3 to 4 sets.
Okay.
That one again is just, I can easily kind of work my hamstrings without too much fatigue on them. But with quads, again, with the more compound lifts, you're exhausting your legs. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, and calves.
Calf raises, standing calf raises have been my go-tos at the moment.
How many sets? How many reps?
I've been doing three sets, 15 reps for all of them. So
Okay.
yeah, I quite like calf raises.
Do you do tibialis?
No.
No. Do you do forearms?
No, I don't train.
Good. Okay, well, we've pretty much come to the end, but this is your opportunity. Where can we find you? Online, in person? Where can people stalk you?
My Instagram is at liftwithiz.x. So that is my current and
revamp. You've got to revamp.
Yeah.
Talk about revamp too quickly. Yeah.
Revamp.
So yeah, what's your handle on Instagram?
liftwithiz.x.
Right, go on. Tell us more.
So,
Where else can they find you?
So that's pretty much it. And TikTok is liftwithiz.x as well. But my most used platform is definitely Instagram. It's the one that I'm on every single day, one that I'm posting on every day. It's where you'll find my updates and my kind of more into my life. I don't really use my personal anymore. And I'm barely on kind of any other social media. So for me, that works. Revamp is a new business to mine, is my online coaching business. So something that I worked on like for a good 6 months behind everything else, behind my full-time job and stuff like that. So that was something that I launched when I actually got over to Australia.
Your full-time job is?
So I'm not working at the moment. I'm part-time gymnastics coach. No, I knew that when I came over here, I didn't want to go.
The government pays them. They came here 250 years ago, and they haven't
No,
stopped paying them. That's why we're broke.
I knew that when I came over, I didn't want to get into full-time work at all because
That's
of
again a true pom
thing.
Yeah.
No, I just didn't. It was so much with the move.
But you're a gymnastics coach?
Yeah, so I'm currently gymnastics coaching. I think I've been there 2 months now. And honestly, such a great job. I've been back. I quit my old gymnastics coaching job back in the UK about a year and a half ago now. And so going back into this, it kind of just relives my old passion. And for me, it's just what I enjoy. and it works with the hours that I need it to right now.
Okay, so the three things is your Instagram,
Yep.
something Izzy, what was it again?
Liftwithiz.x.
And the TikTok
Liftwithiz.x
and Revamp.
I have an
Is
Instagram
it
for
an
it.
app or is it a
No,
website or it's a
just Instagram
Instagram?
at the moment.
online coaching?
But yeah, there is nothing on there at the moment.
Do you do physical
So,
coaching?
I do 1-to-1, but not in a gym right now. So that is, I was doing it, and I had to unfortunately quit on the spot.
Okay.
I was in Australia. That was like in the first 2-3 months of coming over. Mental.
Well, that's it. Thank you so much for being our first female guest
Pleasure.
on Muscle Talks and for your world of 5 months knowledge. Years of knowledge. I really appreciate your openness.
No worries.
Thank you so much, Izzy.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. My
Good
hands are a
job.
bit sweaty. Sorry.
That's all, they are.